Hey guys, this is Eliza with RMK Reactions. I'm very excited today to be expanding my horizons. So, this is going to be Cult of Personality by Living in Color. I feel like this is something I've maybe heard referenced before, but I'm definitely not familiar with it. I don't think I can picture what it sounds like. I don't really know anything about the band, so let's go.
And during the few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
Parentheses, dramatic rock music.
The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like Musicality and Kennedy.
Wow. So, I was not expecting that line. Like Mussolini and Kennedy. Those are certainly two very different guys. So, wow, there's a lot to unpack here. I'm not really sure what era this is from. We've got sort of a more classic rock sound. It looks, I want to say 90s, but I don't really know. Looks like an all-black rock band, which I feel like you really don't see that often, which is unfortunate, but it's definitely very underrepresented. So I like these guys' aesthetic in general. They've got some really fun outfits. I find the visuals here interesting. I can't quite pick up that much of what's going on. We've got the intro with the little kid watching the TV, and then kind of political imagery. It's hard for me to tell right now whether this is super tongue-in-cheek lyrically, or if there's a little bit more sincerity behind those lyrics. I am guessing it's more cheeky because he's calling himself Mussolini.
I'm the cult of personality, the cult of personality, the cult of personality.
That yellow jumpsuit is a fashion choice.
Only you can set me free.
Got a little chicken dance moment.
I saw the things you need to be. I'm the smiling face on your TV. The cult of personality. I exploit you, still you love me.
Okay, my educated guess here. Capitalism. He's saying, I think that a lot of the time you'll see musicians have kind of a narrative about capitalism and being a product, making yourself into a product that you sell to appeal to mass audiences, etc. That being said, that message, just as I described it, seems a little overplayed, and I think there's more nuance in here that I am missing out on, because I'm looking at these images and they feel very specific, relevant events, and I am not able to identify them at the moment, which I feel like maybe I should be able to, or maybe people watching this at the time it came out would have been able to. Also, I just want to again address the fashion here. There are some really strange choices being made. Like, I don't know, that one jumpsuit with like the heart here, I vibe with that one. The yellow jumpsuit, oh my gosh, why is bro dressed like a banana? Alright, we got another juxtaposition. Stalin, not viewed so positively. Gandhi, perceived more positively. See, that outfit's good. I really like that one. Okay, I do recognize MLK. I like the solo. Not lyrically, but chord progression wise, this would mash up so well with, oh gosh, I want to get away, I want to fly away. Why am I blanking on Lenny Kravitz? The chord progression and instrumentation, like, that would be a killer mashup. I'd really like to see somebody make that. This guy's got the drip, because that guitar too, good aesthetic. Okay, banana guy, get it.
To be, oh, I'm the goat of personality. I'm the goat of, 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 I'm the goat of personality.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
The kid's like, heck no.
Made with only 4.
Okay, so I think that I was incorrect earlier in thinking that it was more metaphorical. I think that the perspective of the song is meant to be taken like pretty literally, like from the perspective of just cult of personality, which is like, you know, kind of very simple but interesting as a concept, because I don't really know any other songs like that. You know, just the idea of a magnetic, charismatic central figure. I also think that the names they referenced and how, you know, it's like Mussolini, Stalin versus Gandhi, JFK, in our like current Western culture, like the first name they mentioned is remembered with a very, very negative association, and the second name they mention is remembered with a very, very positive connotation. But they could be sort of seen as two sides of the same coin in the context of the song, due to having like really charismatic figures. And, you know, there are other places where maybe the same dudes that we view as villains are viewed more positively as more heroic figures. As they say, history is written by the winners, the victors. So I don't know. Makes you think. Musically, I enjoyed this. I like the vocals. It the solos are pretty fun. Obviously, it's got enough of a groove to make your head do this, and that's always a good thing for me. So, all right, I feel somewhat enlightened now. Oh, and I just remembered Living Colors. That's why their aesthetic is so colorful. That's why we've got our whole super bright primary colors, splashes of like that's yeah. I think that visually, that's actually a really striking thing about this group because you see so many of those dudes either will have like, they're kind of monochromatic, dark, grungy colors, or like, the not that this is too much of like a glam rock sound, but yeah, they just have like a very unique aesthetic, which is super neat. All right. Well, let me know any more lore behind the message of the song, behind these guys, because I do feel like there's a lot of context that I'm missing out on. Maybe like some of the significance of their styling. I know like colors can be very symbolic. And obviously like the imagery that they used is very like powerful. Lot of very significant historical events, so I'm definitely missing some context on that. I think that what I've extrapolated as the meaning is kind of like tip of the iceberg. All right, see you next time.